disheartening display of basketball today. And I take full responsibility for our team just not competing. It is extremely frustrating at this point, but that falls on deaf ears until I can figure out what motivates our group. I don't see a lot changing, and it's frustrating.
Questions? Michael?
Hey, Coach, Malik was just in here. I don't know if you heard anything he said, but he referred to the team as lost right now, and he even accepted some of the blame for, I guess, maybe lack of leadership since the last Pitt game. Have you seen that from him? Maybe the lack of leadership, and what's been the impact on the team because of that?
Yeah, I'm not pointing the fingers, Michael. I'm going to point the finger right at me. I mean, you're talking about leadership. You know, it's my team. I'm the coach. We are lost. Not playing hard enough. We're not playing connected enough. Again, not pointing fingers. We're just not getting the job done. And that falls right on my shoulders. And I got to figure out something different. Because saying the same things over and over certainly isn't sinking in at this point. And that's my fault if I can't recognize that.
Brett?
Chris, it seemed offensively and really kind of defensively too, like you guys were a little stagnant. Did you see just a team that was standing around a little too much today?
You know, I think on the defensive end, our energy and our resilience really starts to lessen when we can't get buckets on the other end, when we can't score. And we've addressed that. We've talked about it, and that was that's been a challenge all year. And I thought, you know, for first 12, 14 games, we understood that if we had challenging times on offense, that we were going to dig in. It didn't matter if we had to win a game 24-22. But, you know, right now I see a lot of failure to dig in. And again, 100% my fault. Why that's slipping, I've got to figure it out. But that's what I see. You know, I think we changed defenses. We went zone, we went man, with the whole premise of trying to keep the ball out of the lane. Obviously, Hughley provides such a tough matchup when you're in either defense because he's so physical and he's the primary focus for him. He stayed on the floor a lot more in the second half, and he hurt us whether we were zone or man.
Tyler?
Chris, when it comes to the defense, Malik referenced that he didn't think the team had maybe adjusted differently to how those teams might have attacked you guys differently from the first time, whether it be NC State or Pitt. Is that something that you see on that end of the floor, or is it strictly just grit, toughness, that type of thing?
I'm sorry, Tyler. I didn't necessarily understand the question again.
Okay, yeah, I can ask it. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
No, that's all good. Malik had said that specifically to the NC State and Pitt games, he thinks you guys didn't maybe adjust to what they were doing differently to attack you guys on that end of the floor. Do you feel that way, or is it just a grit and toughness thing on defense?
That we didn't adjust?
That you did not adjust, correct.
Yeah. Well, I mean, going into this game, we certainly had a trap that we had put in specifically for Hughley that we didn't have in game one, knowing that he was such a force in half number two at Louisville. You know, NC State, they played a lot better. You know, some of their shots were literally unguardable. But you know, again, maybe right. You know, I gotta watch the film. Thought we had a good plan coming in. You know, the plan with Pitt is to try to keep them out of the lane. And at the end of the day, they scored a lot in the paint. And they had 34 points, which is over half their points in the paint, and that's our primary focus. We're not doing something right.
Go to Brett and then Michael.
Chris, you talked about when you're talking about starting lineups, you talked about how you guys haven't really gotten off to necessarily slow starts, but you guys have not been great out of the gate in the second half. Is there anything you're seeing that's consistent there?
Just the result. You know, we've had different lineups. We've had different styles of play that we've gone against. I've tried to get them out of halftime, earlier, with 6.5, 7 minutes, so they have time to warm up. We've gone down to the wire before where they've ran on the court with 3.5 minutes left in the half. So again, trying to figure out what I can do, what we can do to have better starts to the second half isn't working right now.
Michael?
Just a quick update. Obviously, Sydney didn't play today. What's his status right now?
Well, I was really surprised that we got him as far along as we did. He got hurt on Thursday's practice, which was unfortunate because as well as he played Wednesday night, he was playing equally as well on Thursday in practice. And then, goes down with what I thought at the time was going to be a severe ankle sprain. He was howling in pain, and he said, "Coach, I'm going to be good." And I don't think he meant for the game today. Fortunately, the imaging was good, and it's just a matter of the swelling, the pain tolerance, swelling going down, and how much pain he can tolerate. And he's a tough kid, and he was in shoot around today trying to get going. But I feel like we made the right decision to hold him off for a couple days because I don't want that thing to linger as we go into more games.
Go to Tyler.
Yeah, Chris, dropping 3 conference games in a row after starting 4-0. Do you feel, I guess, a higher sense of urgency for this group to figure it out, or do you try to just, I don't know, take it as it goes?
Yeah, no. When you're in this position, it's all you do is feel a high sense of urgency, and felt that way when we were 4-0. We went down to Tallahassee with the intention on winning. That's been a team that has had our number, and we didn't get it done. Now we haven't responded the last couple games, and it's frustrating. But no, urgency couldn't be any higher at this point.
Go to Brett. You're muted, Brett.
Sorry. You've talked about a lot of different things that you've tried and talked about trying to figure out still what motivates this group. Are you concerned that they're just not getting messaging from you, that whether they're tuning it out or whatever, that those messages just aren't coming through?
Very concerned. Very concerned.
And what do you do about that?
The only way I know how, Brett, just to continue to show film and work and try to fix what is ailing us on the floor. And, I think everybody on the team, players, staff, head coach, we got to take a look in the mirror and we got to figure out, do we want to turn it around, or is this acceptable? I know the answer for myself, but we're going to continue to work and continue to coach and try to get this thing turned around the way that we want it to go.
Coach, thank you. Thank you all for joining us. That's it from here.
Thanks.